Title: How to Speak English Fluently, From Start to Fluency. Improving your English speaking skills and learning to speak like a native might seem challenging, but with the right tips and consistent practice, it becomes an achievable goal. In this video, I'll share easy and practical steps you can follow to enhance your English fluency, pronunciation, and confidence from the very beginning to becoming proficient. Start by immersing yourself in English. Immersion means surrounding yourself with the language in your daily life. Watch movies and TV shows in English, listen to podcasts or audiobooks, and read books, articles, or blogs. The key is to expose yourself to how native speakers use the language in real-life situations. Pay attention to how they pronounce words, use idiomatic expressions, and structure their sentences. By regularly interacting with authentic materials, you'll naturally start absorbing the patterns and rhythms of the language. Practice speaking every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Speaking regularly is the foundation of fluency. Don't wait for someone to practice with, start speaking to yourself. Narrate your day in English, describe what you see around you, or talk about your thoughts and feelings. You can also shadow native speakers by repeating what they say word for word, mimicking their tone, pace, and intonation. This technique, called shadowing, is a powerful way to improve your pronunciation and learn how sentences flow naturally. Focus on listening. Active listening is one of the most important skills you can develop. Listen carefully to native speakers and try to notice how they stress certain syllables, use intonation to convey meaning, and pause between ideas. Mimicking these patterns will make your speech sound more natural. Use resources like podcasts, songs, and interviews to practice listening and picking up new vocabulary and phrases. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes are a natural part of learning. Remember, even native speakers make mistakes sometimes. What matters is that you keep speaking and learning from your errors. When you make a mistake, see it as an opportunity to improve rather than something to be embarrassed about. Build your vocabulary strategically. Instead of memorizing long lists of words, focus on learning words and phrases that you're likely to use in everyday conversations. For example, learn how to talk about your daily routine, hobbies, work, or studies. When you practice speaking, try to use these new words and phrases in sentences. The more you use them, the more natural they will feel. Work on your pronunciation. Pronunciation plays a key role in sounding like a native speaker. Practice individual sounds that are difficult for you, and don't rush through words, focus on clarity. You can use online tools or apps to compare your pronunciation with that of native speakers. Tongue twisters are also a fun way to improve your articulation and fluency. Learn to think in English. Translating from your native language to English while speaking can slow you down and cause hesitation. Instead, train your brain to think directly in English. Start with simple sentences or phrases. For example, when you see an object, think of its name in English. Over time, you'll be able to think in English more naturally, which will significantly improve your fluency. Practice speaking with others. Joining conversation groups, attending language meetups, or finding a language partner online are great ways to practice speaking with real people. Talking to different people exposes you to various accents, speech patterns, and ways of expressing ideas, helping you become a more versatile speaker. Use technology to your advantage. There are countless apps and online platforms designed to help you improve your English speaking skills. Some apps offer speaking exercises, pronunciation practice, and even AI conversation partners. Use these tools to practice anytime and anywhere. Develop a habit of self-correction. When you notice a mistake, make a mental note of it and try to correct it the next time. Recording yourself while speaking can be a great way to identify areas for improvement. Listen to the recordings and pay attention to your pronunciation, grammar, and fluency. Finally, be consistent and patient with yourself. Learning to speak English fluently is a journey that requires time and effort. Celebrate your progress along the way, no matter how small it may seem. Remember, every step you take brings you closer to your goal of speaking like a native. By following these easy and practical tips, you'll gradually improve your English speaking skills and build the confidence to communicate effectively. The key is to stay motivated, keep practicing, and enjoy the process of learning. You've got this. Let's know the story of a young girl Emma, that how he improved from start to fluency. Let's share his experience. Emma's journey of improving her English from a beginner to a fluent speaker is an inspiring story of dedication and smart learning. Emma grew up in a small town where English was not commonly spoken. She always dreamed of traveling the world and connecting with people from different cultures, but her limited English skills held her back. She could understand a few words and phrases but struggled to form sentences and often felt embarrassed about her pronunciation. One day, Emma decided to change her approach. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, she broke her goal into smaller steps. She started by immersing herself in English as much as possible. She replaced her favorite movies and TV shows with English ones, watching them with subtitles to understand the dialogue. At first, it was challenging, but over time, she began to recognize common words and phrases. Emma also started listening to English songs and podcasts. She would write down the lyrics or key phrases and practice saying them out loud. Shadowing became her favorite technique. She would pause a podcast, repeat what the speaker said, and mimic their tone and pronunciation. This helped her get used to the rhythm of English and improved her confidence. Next, Emma focused on speaking. She was shy at first, so she began by talking to herself. She would describe her day, her thoughts, or even narrate simple stories. Gradually, she felt comfortable enough to join online language exchange groups where she could speak with native speakers and other learners. These conversations were not always perfect, but they gave Emma real-world practice and the courage to keep trying. Emma realized that grammar was a major hurdle for her. Instead of memorizing rules, she started learning through examples. She watched videos and read simple books that used grammar in context. This way, she could see how grammar worked in real-life sentences rather than as isolated rules. Building her vocabulary was another key step. Emma started carrying a small notebook where she wrote down new words she encountered. She would write sentences using those words to ensure she understood their meaning and usage. Over time, her vocabulary expanded significantly. One of the biggest breakthroughs for Emma was learning to think in English. She stopped translating from her native language and started forming thoughts directly in English. At first, it was just simple sentences like, "I need to go to the market," but soon she was able to think more complex thoughts. This shift helped her speak more naturally and fluently. Emma also worked hard on her pronunciation. She used apps and online tools to practice difficult sounds. She stood in front of a mirror to watch how her mouth moved while speaking and even practiced tongue twisters to improve her clarity and speed. After months of consistent practice, Emma noticed a remarkable change. She could hold conversations with native speakers without hesitation, watch movies without subtitles, and even write emails and essays in English with confidence. The highlight of her journey was when she traveled abroad for the first time and navigated her trip entirely in English, making friends from different countries along the way. Today, Emma is proud of how far she's come. She shares her journey with others to motivate them to start their own path to fluency. Her story is a testament that with the right mindset, consistent practice, and smart strategies, anyone can master English and achieve their dreams.